Hello, everybody, and welcome to Good Chats. And it looks like I remembered to turn the microphone on. G'day, JK. Welcome aboard. Come hither with Heather. Hello. Great to have you on board. Steve Klink, welcome aboard, sir. Luke's Fishing, representing in the Northern Territory. We've got Daryl Phillips, representing the country folk. G'day from us, city folk. So here we are. If you're wondering what this is Good Chats. This is the live stream that I do every Wednesday night on Outdoors Type, where we talk a little bit about videos that we've been making, videos that are coming up. We share information and chats, mainly about railway stuff, because that's kind of what my channel does at the moment. That's where we're at. I just did the video on the Morcalla to Redcliff's line. Here's hoping that was a very successful video. Here's hoping that my rather amateur live stream doesn't cause more unsubscribers than it causes subscribers. But hey, here we go anyway. No wild weather down here in Radelaide, JK. It's been pretty warm and humid, so it looks like we're in for another warm and humid summer. What kind of wild weather have you had out there in downtown Hillston, man? G'day, O'Malley. Welcome aboard. Andy Munro, I was streaming with you live from Karpolak, or Karpolak. Thank you for joining me on that trip. That was awesome to do that kind of, rally thing, just from Horsham through the country there, down to out to Karpolak, and just kind of see what kind of things you stop and look at as well, Andy. That was awesome, man. I will get to that video in a couple of weeks' time, and I will send you the drone footage of those cricket pitches in the middle of wheat fields. That's pretty cool. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for that. The Red Cliffs line video worked out pretty well, actually. But that's probably because it was first cab off the rank. So I'm just going to make my way through, kind of in the same way that made my safari through Western Victoria. And so far we're still up in the desert regions, the sunset country. I'm looking at making a video about the Patrikios to Hopeton line next. I always think these videos will be short, but then they turn out to be longer than I think. So at any rate, yeah, we'll work our way through that, and then I'm going to have to figure out what I do about all that area around Jepperit and Yanak and whatever. Man, that was a crazy drive to try and fit all those places in 3 days. So kind of good to not be in the car for a while. Always, as always, I want to know what's happening out there. We all want to know what's happening out there. Looks like there's some wild weather out there in New South Wales way. O'Malley sent me a vid. Oh, bugger, I haven't teed that up, so I'm going to have to tee that up in a minute. I'm going to have to find it. So probably what I'll do there is I'm going to preview a vid. I just went for a walk around Orion Yard while I was there, so I'm just going to play that video. So I've got a bit of a video to play this week while we all chat amongst ourselves. Jepperit, and Yanak. I will, we'll see how we go. It's gonna be a hot summer, that's for sure, and probably a pretty intense wet season up your way, Luke. I don't know what that means for the prospects of fishing, but yeah. So anyway, we'll flip it around. I'll play that Oyen vid in a minute while I get my stuff together on this other tram that's out, by the looks of things, out Wanaka way. And then I'll talk about the trip that I just took a little bit. A few tips, a few traps, a few pitfalls going on there. Did you go to the Oyen Lake? No, I didn't go to the Oyen Lake, O'Malley, out at, hang on, Oyen Lake. you must mean the lake that's just a bit west of Oyen. I followed the Oyen to Patrikios Road when I went through that way. So I kind of bypassed, just turned off left and headed south before I got to the lake. Unless you mean there's another lake that's cool somewhere around Oyen. Jamestown got hit hard with a 24-hour storm. There's been a few thunderstorm cells around, but nothing that's hit where I'm at in Adelaide so far over the last few days. So it's been pretty mild, really. And then we'll talk about Book of the Week. I don't really have a Book of the Week, but I'll find something. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this link. This will be fun. I'm going to share the Video Ninja link, right? And see if any of you are all game to... Oh man, can I jump into that? Maybe not. If you are keen to try jumping in on the stream as well, just for something else interesting to do. Okay, so I can't post this in the chat because I don't have the chat up on this screen. Okay, right, I'm pretty disorganized this time. Let's go to this screen and we'll open that up. And now I've got the chat. Yeah, Jeremy, I did also see that Steam Ranger got some new carriages, some relatively modern Victorian railway carriages, which would be, I found interesting. I looked at those carriages and thought that would be an interesting experience on the Steam Ranger. Maybe they're looking more towards, their service being more of a comfy suburban commuter train service. Massive lake at Oyen, man-made, big enough to water ski. No, I did not see that. But next time I go on a Western Victoria Lakes tour, man, I tell you, I could just spend like forever out there looking at all the different things. There's the country halls. There's these. Okay, great. The new Cockle train. Yeah, they needed something a bit more suburban and go back and forth because that is, in some ways, especially in school holidays down there between Victor Harbour and Gore, becoming almost like a suburban passenger service. I know of people who live down there and just kind of catch it back and forth, more like a public transport, as it were. So where was I at? That's right. Guest. So I just put that link in there. If you click on that link, you'll probably get dropped into a web page that is basically a green room or whatever for live streaming, and then I can bring that live stream into OBS. And the theory goes, right, that I'm just going to play with this on the other side here, that I can bring in a browser source. So yeah, if you're keen to jump in and help me test that out, that'd be great. All these things take time to perfect, don't they? I've got a little slideshow as well of the historical images that I collected on the Patrikios line. So there you go. It took 10 minutes to get all of that out of the way. Let's go to this video while I sort out the other one. This is just me wandering around Oyen Yard. I figured with this footage I couldn't really make anything of it. I didn't really do too much research on Oyen, obviously, because I missed the lake. It's probably got something to do with the railway too. Andy, my favourite place on the trip was the drive down from Nadamuck down to Coleraine. Colerane's a really cute little town. I wouldn't stay there again. But that beautiful country as you cross the sort of top end of the Glenelg River there, and you really do notice the delineation between the Wimmera, and then you start to head into the wetter regions of Victoria. Beautiful forests and beautiful scenery. Everything was just so green down there. There's a reason, I guess, why they call all that area the Green Triangle. Grampians off in the distance, volcanoes and stuff. Yeah, it's not a part of the country that I've seen before, and I'm really glad that I went there. Yeah, this is Oyen, dude, and it's still used, yeah. Definitely saw the difference within about, 5-10 minutes, probably somewhere around the Glenelg River. I racked up 2,000 Ks in the end, because when I went down to Coleraine, I kind of did end up going the wrong direction. Google took me a new direction. Rather than doing what Andy does and save the trips that seem to make more sense when you are in front of a computer. As I was out there, and I do what I normally do and ask the car to direct me to where I'm going. And it takes you down some crazy by roads, man. So I ended up on a lot of these sea roads and winding through these beautiful places, like I said before. But I ended up in Coleraine, and what I actually originally intended to do was get down to Hamilton first and then go out to Coleraine. Turned out, I had enough petrol and light to do all that, but what that meant was that I had to go virtually back out to Hamilton and then back out to Coleraine and double that trip the next day, which wasted a bit of time. And then when I've done that, I actually ended up going down to Branksholm as well and coming back up that way before I ended up back up in Casterton as well. Then I went down to Mount Gambier and then down to Haywood and back up to Mount Gambier again. So I kind of completely messed up my travel paths. By doing it kind of on the, take me here by voice direction or whatever on the fly. So yeah, Andy, I'll be definitely considering saving the trip next time I do something that complicated. But hey, made up for it by missing out on some breaks. And yeah, I was traveling solo, but I do love traveling solo. It's an opportunity to just chill, really. Yeah, that's all right, Andy. Mount to Haywood and back was pretty crazy, yeah. But I had a few wood ducks, so that helped. Nearly crashed the drone while I was out at Dartmoor as well. Accidentally had it in sport mode and smashed the front of it into the side of my car. But it appears to have survived. So yeah, that's a bit of a review of the trip. Patrikios was actually a pretty nice place. Not a bad room for $120 in the middle of bloody nowhere. Coleraine, unfortunately for the National Smokehouse Hotel, I'll give that place a big thumbs down. Noisy as all hell. No hot water anywhere in the accommodation. And it was too late at night to get somebody out. So yeah, the accommodation at Coleraine and the food, man, the food was actually pretty bad. Sorry to say. So, yeah, I think pub accommodation's probably not going to be the way that I would prefer to go in future. It'd probably time things a little bit differently and get bigger, more civilized rooms. hang on. Drone stills are generally pretty good. I don't do too many drone stills, to be honest with you. Most of if you have seen any stills, they've been pulled out of video. The drone can do pretty good stills, but, but it's the stills I'd rather do with a larger sensor camera for sure. Yes, there is a pizza vending machine at Karoonda, and I reckon it makes really good pizza that tastes really good because you're in Karoonda. I got you now. Oh, thanks, Andy. Yeah, I probably would have been better with a swag and some witchy grubs than staying at the National Smokehouse Hotel. I mean, hey, it's a country pub, middle of nowhere. They're struggling like the rest of us, but that's just sort of made me want to go, I won't sort of go down that pub accommodation route, unfortunately, because it's not, it needs to be a bit better for the price. Their prices are approaching motel prices, so yeah, or Airbnbs or whatever. So if you're going to do that, then you're going to need to do a bit better than that. And I reckon if they cottoned on to this, they would probably agree, to be fair. So that was the rundown. Oh no, there was one last thing I wanted to say about that trip as well. Was catching up with Andy was awesome. That dirt from Yanak that you noticed when I pulled up at Horsham, I'd gone through some roadworks way out in the middle of nowhere, out near Yanak, hopefully I got that right, and all the way till nearly Keith, I reckon, on the last day. I'd still be like driving along, cruising along at 110, then all of a sudden you'd just hear a big whack of mud drop out of the wheel arches. So yeah, it was still going a couple of days later. But then it rained a bit on that trip, so it turned out that I don't really have to clean the car too badly. I'm not going to clean the car this week anyway, because I'm headed out to Cobdogler again this Sunday, because me being a bit more of a perfectionist with my videos, I couldn't really do anything good with the footage and stuff that I got on my first trip to Cobdogler on the way out to Western Victoria. So hopefully I'm going to go catch up with the people from the Irrigation and Steam Museum at their shed or premises at Loveday. So looking forward to catching up with them on Sunday. The Karoonda pub. Oh yeah, love spending drunken nights at country pubs. It probably makes it easier to sleep in the rooms and shower in cold water. So I found old mate's video that O'Malley sent me, and I'm just going to speed through to this bit. I'm not doing a video review here or anything like that. I'm just going to speed through to the bit with the tram and see if anyone knows anything about this. So I'm going to have to do screen cap, bear with me. But I don't have to do screen cap, but I don't have the YouTube set up, so I wasn't expecting to do that. So let's go into here. Hopefully it's working. Find the tram. There it is. Right.
But there's still a good sign on it. That better be saved, I reckon. PK chewing gum. I'll get up a bit closer so you can see it. Trust me to be wearing thongs in an area where there's probably snakes, but...
Oh, shit.
Little PK chewing gum. I think we've probably filmed this before, I can't remember. But, another nice old sign here. YS Industrial. YS Industrial Dry Cleaners.
So, yeah, I don't know if you know anything about this stuff. I'm not sure at all about that tram there. I'll just go back and do it again. I'm not even sure whether you're getting audio from this clip.
Sign
but
That better be safe,
he
I
is
reckon.
basically
PK chewing
saying he doesn't know much about it.
a bit closer so you can see it. Trust me to be wearing the thongs in an area where there's probably snakes, please. Oh, PK chewing gum. I think we've probably filmed this before, I can't remember. But, another nice old sign here.
If it's any consolation, JK is not saying anything that's
YS Industry,
that I'm learning from.
YS Industrial Dry Cleaners.
Must be somewhere around his property or something. He does a lot of videos. He's got a good channel going on.
How we going, Clarky? We found anything? A spoon?
I reckon it might be his property. So I'll just leave it on that for a little bit, because I'm seeing a bit of delay in my playback tonight on the stream. Oh, whoops, and I've got to plug computer in, because streaming takes a lot of power. Right. I know we were headed for the suitcase joke somewhere along the line. And JK, no, they haven't reopened after the floods yet. There's some stoosh or stoush or biffo going on between SA Water and the museum. So unfortunately, don't know what's happening there. It all seems to be a bit up in the air. SA Water is just this giant monolith. Anyway, we'll go back to turn the effing mic on scene. So if anyone knows anything about that tram that remains somewhere up around Wanaka, sounds like it is that guy's property. So I don't know, want to snoop around the channel and you might find out a little bit more, but he doesn't seem to know too much about it. Someone out there will know something about it for sure. I reckon Kane's busy at the moment with work and just keeping up with his own channel, so we haven't seen him for a few weeks, and we haven't even seen Max Hobby for a few weeks as well. He's probably busy saving another railway out there in the UK. And while we're at it, g'day to ADHD and Jack Wayman as well. I know that you guys are always supporting. Right, so what have we got to now? Pretty much down to book of the week now. It's just going to be a bit of a short stream tonight. I haven't got a massive amount of content lined up, and I do just want to kind of keep it snappy and just keep working on these videos as well, so I can punch them all out as soon as possible. The bloke down at Kalangadoo, Peter Savage, my God, what an awesome guy! Seriously, he. As I turned up, I was actually running a little bit late, and I felt very sorry because as I turned up, he was very clearly prepared for me and another tour group that was coming through apparently just after me. They turned up halfway through my visit, but as I parked on the other side of the railway yard near the Kalangadoo post office, and I walked across the yard, and he starts playing this steam engine sound at volume 15 across the whole railway yard, right? It was just kind of, he's got this really bright kind of tie-dyed kind of rock kind of steam train t-shirt on, and he just struck me as a real ACDT kind of bloke, he loves doing what he does, and he loves it is an understatement. I was just so impressed that he was taking time to go through and show me as much as possible as quickly as he could, because at one point we turned around and this other group had this other walking group of about 12 people had turned up, and it had just started raining. After all the beautiful weather, I arrive in Kalangadoo and it bloody starts raining again. Look, he deserves a statue, that bloke. He's been in that place for so long, and his enthusiasm for it is infectious, and his pride in it is also infectious. What a great place. So if you're ever down that way, reach out to him as Peter Savage on Facebook, and you can basically just check in with him there like I did and just say, oh, we'll be down here on this date, are you going to be around? And he leapt at the chance to show me around, and just slipped him a note as well to thank him for it, because he runs on donations, I guess, so and kindness. So but such an amazing job, and just so easy to arrange a personalised and passionate tour. Yeah, no, there should be a statue of that bloke somewhere along the line. Now, I did also, that's right, because I'm making the Patrikios to Hopeton video, and I did have a little slideshow to talk about. Sorry to jump around a bit. We're mostly in the region of Victoria and South Australia, I suppose. So this is one of the maps that I found on Victorian Railway's site. It's an interesting map. I would like to use it more in my animations. I would like to use these kind of maps more in my animations, and I may try it in one of the upcoming videos. But you can download this from the VR maps. I'm pretty sure it's VR maps, the bit that this one's on. Something like that. And yeah, it's in really high resolution, so you can zoom right in. I think it's like 1928 Victorian Railways map, and it shows you, and that was pretty much at the height of all of these country railways, and it's quite astonishing just how covered Victoria was in railways. And so here is a photo of a Victorian Railways train leaving or about to leave Patrikios. And so when we go there in the video, you'll see that station building in the far part of the photograph there, and what they've done to it now, and what traces remain. And then we go to, this is Hopeton, with a rail motor parked in it. Again, there is a goods shed there, but no trace of this building that was once there, the station building. And this is indicative of the country outside of Patrikios. So this is looking towards Patrikios, so I guess northwest, as the line heads through one of the many sort of drifting sand hills that they have out in that country. And it just really kind of ramps home. And there's a few places, cuttings along the roads out there, where you can see just how sandy and desert-like it can be. In fact, there are a few moving sandhills out around that way, as far as I could tell, by some of the maps and some of the information I looked at. I reckon the buildings would be removed because of insurance, Andy. Essentially, there's just, insurance, either or salvage for what it's worth. Sometimes some of the materials in them might have been worth a bit of money for salvage. Certainly with rail it was, in most cases. But then I guess in later years it's become about, occupational health and safety and mitigating risk. And I guess in some ways maybe community amenity and recovering assets. Peter down at Kalangadoo talked a little bit about all the kind of stuff that he had to pack up and send back to National Railways headquarters in Adelaide when they shut the Kalangadoo station. The old V-line closed in the Pioneer Museum. Yeah, I was astonished when I opened that door to the first building. I can't remember the name, that's Car Warp Station. I found that amazing that all of that stuff was just out there, just waiting to be found. And I guess because it's so remote, is one reason it's so surprising, and it's another reason why, it's just such a gem in the middle of nowhere. It just seems so untouched. You can just go about your thing. It's at your leisure, and there's plenty more to see around there as well if you like wood and farm machinery, which I don't like. Farm machinery, I find farm machinery really boring. So there you go, that's that. as well. Now, book of the week. I don't really have a book of the week this week. I've been so busy with videos and driving that I really didn't have much chance to drive. Maybe if they could vent a way to read railway books while I drive, that would be handy. So, folks, here we are. We are getting to that point now. I'll be going for about half an hour now. And I wanted to thank everybody for coming on board tonight. The latest video that I've done, maybe because it's Victoria, has been really, really successful. And I want to thank everybody for the kind comments. And I want to thank everyone for coming on board tonight here as well, as always, every Wednesday night. Sorry if you are new to the channel and you're still trying to figure out what's going on, but welcome. Very welcoming bunch of people here in the outdoors type chat room of good chats. I certainly always learn a lot more from all of you guys than I probably provide to you, but hey, it's all about what's happening and the knowledge and all that kind of stuff. Hang on, the Yapete footy ground is like that. There's a shed you can look in with history. Yeah, no, I think you'll be a part of footy history, Andy Munro. We're not experts at what we do yet, but we just might be by the time we're finished. Thanks, Heather. Thanks for sticking around too. I noticed you didn't hit the guest link. So yeah, please everyone, I'm going to bring the guest link up every week now, just until someone finally wants to stop lurking and front up on screen with me, and we'll have a bit of a good chat, or we'll just try and make it work first, and then we'll figure out what to do from there. No, I haven't been listening to good podcasts. I tend to listen to very long drum and bass and progressive house mixes when I'm on the road. It's just kind of goes well. I don't really want to get too involved in deep and meaningful stuff when I'm driving. That's kind of downtime. So for what it's worth, that's why I do love these trips too, because just putting in modern cars, man, just putting cruise control on and just eating up the highway miles is actually reasonably relaxing. I don't know what you think. That's okay, Heather. No worries. We're going to wrap it up now. So thanks to all the lurkers who haven't piped up tonight. I know you're there, so g'day, welcome aboard. JK, thank you, the producer of the show, once again. Come hither with Heather, one of my most esteemed chat room crew members. Steve Klink, you're always here too, mate. Thanks for the support. Luke's Fishing NT, as always, sweating it out up there in the Northern Territory. Thanks again, mate, for your support. Daryl Phillips from the country in WA, always nice to get your information that you send to me, and thank you again. O'Malley Tours 34 around the grounds, wouldn't have made that last video without your recommendation on that museum, man, so thanks very much. Andy Munro, thank you very much for catching up with me and doing that collaboration on the weekend. Thanks for coming on board tonight. Zamargo, thank you for coming on board tonight. Who else have we have I missed anybody? Well, we certainly have missed Max in the last few weeks, and we certainly have missed Kane in the last few weeks as well. So hopefully we'll see those guys back in the stream with all of their amazing information. A good audio book is a man called Possum. Yeah, okay. Yep. No, I tend to just have really long mixes of music to listen to. Occasionally I put on ABC Conversations on ABC was good back in the day, so I'll think about that a little bit more next time. But when you're on the road like that too, you kind of need to have a lot of backup downloaded stuff, because even though it's 2024, there's still a lot of gaps in coverage when you're out in some of these remote places, and so you just end up middle of bloody nowhere, you're 5 minutes into listening to nothing before you realise you've lost coverage. You'd probably know that out in the Northern Territory a lot more than the rest of us. It wouldn't take you long to get out of coverage there, I bet. All right, everyone, going to wrap it up right now. Thank you for coming on board again this Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday night at 8:15 p.m. Adelaide time. And until next week, peace.